Hi, today I want to cover a topic that has been out there about Kenya's potential to become the Singapore of Africa. And it's not that we want to be like Singapore, it's just that we want to achieve to be the leading economic power in Africa. And similar to what the famous rise of Singapore as a global economic hub. So and the potential of Kenya to be the leading economic power in Africa was captured by Professor Tyler Cohen of Mason University in his article, Kenya is poised to become the Singapore of Africa, on Bloomberg in 2023. And the optimism is mainly based on our country's key advantages like young skilled workforce, our infrastructure, which has improved a lot over the years. Then we have digital technology and also strategic geographical location, the geographical location of our country. But for Kenya to emulate Singapore's remarkable economic development, we need to make some bold reforms in our government, in our governance, also in our way of doing things. No, so in this video, I will discuss how Kenya can become Africa's Singapore. I'll also cover I'll cover in details the internal challenges that hinder us from transitioning from a low income country to a middle income country, a stable middle income country, and even to into a higher income country. So let's start with a quick review of Singapore's path to economic boom and this remarkable journey from of Singapore, from a small resource poor country to this global economic hub, is captured by in the book From Third World to First by Lee Kuan Yew, and this was the first prime minister of Singapore, serving from 1959 to 1990. And their success was attributed to many factors, but there are several strategies that stand out. And one of them, the first one, is that the government adopted a zero tolerance policy on corruption. And this, along with their political stability, gave foreign investors the confidence to make long term commitment. And actually, Mr. Lee, in his book, acknowledges that when they took power, they were strongly committed to building a clean system of governance in the country, that this system was to set a high standard of integrity. And he was very strong against corruption and supported the anti corruption institution in the country to an extent that he cut ties with his close allies. And and this anti-corruption move has made it's one of the factors that made Singapore to succeed and to reach where they are. So the second one, we have the country pursued an export-oriented model, which allowed its industries to tap into the global market, and this led to a deep integration into global supply chains and rapid economic growth. And the third one is that the Singapore attracted foreign direct investment by providing a business friendly environment with low taxes, minimum tariffs, and also streamlined regulations. For instance, the corporate tax rate in Singapore it's 17% compared to our tax rate, to Kenya's tax rate, which is 37%. And with this business friendly environment, they were able to attract many multinational corporations, which in turn brought in capital, technology, and also expertise. And the fourth factor, and the fourth strategy is that the government invested in its people through high quality education, and this ensured the country had a highly skilled and educated workforce. And also, the next strategy is that the government invested heavily in developing a high quality infrastructure to support its economy. This is widely known. Singapore is known for its high quality infrastructure, including ports, and the efficient transport and telecommunication networks made Singapore a hub for logistics and commerce. So, in the next part, I want to cover or to discuss the challenges that hinder our country from achieving such kind of economic boom. So, one of the challenges is corruption and poor governance. Kenya still struggles with corruption. We know that based on the estimates that are out there, is that we lose approximately 2 billion per day to corruption. And common types of corruption in Kenya include bribery, fraud, nepotism, and embezzlement of public funds. And all these cases of corruption undermine investor confidence, drain public resources, and also weaken infrastructure development. And the lack of and we also have lack of political will to fight corruption, and our institutions are very inefficient, and this hinder the overall fight against corruption in the country. So the second one is inequality in our education and health systems. Our education and health systems are characterized by disparities both in quality and access. And the education system, many children, this issue is more profound in the education system, where many children, especially those in rural areas, they receive low quality education due to factors like limited infrastructure or poor infrastructure, limited supply of qualified teachers, poverty, and also lower parental educational levels. And this hinders the discovery of talents. These children are denied the potential or the opportunity to discover their talents, and in the process, we deny ourselves potential innovators be who could drive this country to the level that we want. So the next one is skills gap. We we have the mismatch between the education and industry needs. This remains a significant challenge for employers and companies in Kenya, and particularly in sectors like digital technology, hospitality, and construction. And this weakens the competitiveness of Kenyan firms. The next one is political instability. We have frequent political upheavals, demonstrations, and also tribal politics, which affect social cohesion and also slow reform momentum. It slows reforms that are required to achieve an economic boom. Change is our dependence on rain-fed agriculture, which makes us very vulnerable to climate change. I've seen this by the fluctuations in food prices. So, and the sixth one, or number six, it's broken and dysfunctional families. The rate of broken and dysfunctional families in the country is on the rise. And additionally, marriage is on decline as fewer young people don't choose not to get married, and due to the shifting views on commitment, growing concern about the high cost of living, and also peer pressure via social media platforms. And also, a policy on overseas employment, including sending people to Middle Eastern countries like Qatar or that, all those countries, leaves a trail of broken families. And in the process, it destroys the very fundamental pillar of the economy, which is the family. Next one is gambling and risky investments. The high rate of gambling and risky investment in the country, especially among our young people, which is and this issue is hinders entrepreneurship, which is a key component of a thriving economy. And while of course gambling contributes to government revenue, but at the same time it mop up billions of shillings from the economy and hinders economic development and also job creation. If our young people are just betting or engaged in gambling, they gamble their hard-earned money. They are denied that chance to to invest or to engage in entrepreneurship, and this affects even creates the issue of youth unemployment in the country or the high unemployment figures in the country. So the next one is import-led growth. Kenya's economy, it's strongly based on import-led growth model due to its over-reliance on imports. And this strategy, the import-led model, it hinders the development of local sectors like agriculture and manufacturing, and this leads to slow economic growth. So we also have the high corporate tax. We have high taxes, and of course this hinders entrepreneurship and also our ability to attract foreign investors. In the next section, I will share the policies that we need to adopt in order to unlock the potential to transform into the Singapore of Africa. And one of the policies, and this is the most direct one, is zero tolerance on corruption. As a country, we must strengthen institutions, digitize governance, and establish a culture of integrity. Also, it is imperative to support anti corruption institutions, uphold the rule of law, and ensure robust enforcement. The government should continue digitizing its services by tapping into new technologies like artificial intelligence. And also, our leaders must have the political will to fight or to end corruption. The second policy is to promote equity and quality in our education system. The government must build a strong education system where every child receives quality education regardless of their background. We must abolish the colonial categorization, the colonial based categorization of schools, which has been driving inequality in our education system. We also need to improve infrastructure and ensure equal distribution of resources. And this will increase talent discovery and produce a highly skilled workforce and making the country attractive to foreign multinational corporations which are seeking or that are seeking a talented labor pool. Before I end this, I need to highlight that also need to minimize the influence of politicians on our education system. The role of the development and construction of schools should be should not be in the hands of politicians. It should be transferred or left to professionals and also to the necessary ministries. The third policy, we need to pursue an export oriented industrialization. And in order to become a truly wealth country, and the country must move beyond primary industries and push for value addition. And also, we must ensure that smallholder agriculture is linked well into agro industry chains that make high value products. Continued investment in the energy infrastructure is also critical. This will lower the cost of electricity in the country and in turn reduce the cost of production. Finally, the government must expand special economic zones strategically and offer investor friendly incentives. So, the fourth one, I believe it's the fourth one, this is linked to the to just what I mentioned. It's that we need to reduce the corporate tax rate. Our tax rate is 37% for non-resident corporations compared to Singapore's corporate tax rate, as I mentioned earlier, it's only 17%. I don't know how we expect that we can compete with other countries with such a high corporate tax rate. We can't compete with them when it comes to attracting foreign investors. We will always win. We must reduce this our taxes in order to boost entrepreneurship and also attract foreign investors. The fifth one is to address skills gaps or skill gaps. We can do this by boosting the STEM education or integrate STEM education in our education system. And also we promote research and development in the private sector. Moreover, we should establish, and this is a critical one, we should establish lifelong learning programs to offer Kenyans an opportunity for continuous learning. This ensures the workforce acquires new skills to address the market needs, what the market currently needs. The next one, I know this may be unpopular, but we need to ban gambling and support entrepreneurship among young people. And a total ban on gambling will free up young people from this thing and allow them to engage in entrepreneurship, leading to increased productivity and also more jobs. And the final one, we need to promote marriage and stable families. The government, in partnership with the church and other stakeholders, must implement initiatives or programs to encourage participation in marriage and also prevent divorce. And stable families provide children with a secure environment that facilitate healthy emotional and psychological and social development. And this ensures optimal productivity in their future or in their adulthood. So that's all from me today. My name is David. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. And also, please like and subscribe to my video. See you in the next one.